All right, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Kelly Brown, and I'm really excited to welcome you to our coach call. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and share my story tonight, and then you're going to get to hear from some incredible women on our team as they share their story and what coaching has been for them. There's a lot of beautiful pieces of this opportunity, and a lot of times for us, it starts with health and wellness, and then it unfolds just to touch every area of our life. And so whether you have been to one of these webinars before, maybe you've been in a challenge group, maybe you haven't, and your coach just reached out or your friend and said, hey, I've got this thing tonight and I want you to come listen in. You are invited into an opportunity to really tap into a community that's life-changing. I'm not trying to puff this up. I just humbly want to tell you that it's amazed me what this business has done in my life and in the lives of the women that are here. And you were invited because it's a gift that they want to give you. And so just taking the time to be here and listen and discern that is such a blessing to us that we get to be a piece of that for you. So we're going to talk a little bit about coaching, talk a little bit about a lot of common questions that people have, and then talk about what are the ins and outs and logistical pieces. And then we're going to pray and give you the opportunity to discern and talk with your coach and whoever invited you tonight to help make the decision that's best for you. So my name is Kelly Brown. I'm a mama. I have 8 kiddos, 7 here. We have 1 in heaven, and I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, but I am a Southerner at heart. I grew up in South Carolina. My husband is a Louisiana boy. We moved here 11 years ago thinking it was a short little 3-year stint, and we're still here. So God had other plans. I'm a 2-star diamond coach with Beachbody. I've been coaching for 7 years. And we have, our team's name is called the Freedom Family. It is truly a family. The symbol for our team is a giant tree with many branches. And it's because there are many extensions of I feel the vision that was laid on my heart for this team, and God continues to grow it. Our team is very rooted in the faith, which is a blessing that even though we do partner with a company, Beachbody, and they provide the fitness and wellness products that we use, we are able to coach and provide the services in a way that aligns with our values. And so as a believer, it means a lot to me that not only do we work together and provide financially for our families, but we lean in and we pray, and we work together in spiritual growth as well, which is a very beautiful charism of our team. So I started my journey 7 years ago, and what you see before you now is a very different picture than what you would have seen then. I was a mom of 5 at the time, and I was very trapped in this cycle of I didn't like myself and who I was. I felt completely uncomfortable, not only in my physical skin, but in who I was as a mom. I struggled a lot with anxiety. I struggled a lot with overwhelm because having 5 kids, all very young and very close together, and a husband who worked full-time for a nonprofit, I found that I was afraid. I was afraid of kind of being who I was. I don't know if that can resonate with anyone here. And so what happened was I constantly criticized and tried to fix myself through food, through exercise, through trying to make my body fit some mold. And my opinion of myself was so low that it didn't matter really what I did because I couldn't see the progress anyway. So what happened was I saw an infomercial at Christmas for a program called Insanity by trainer Shaun T. And it looked hard and scary, but I was desperate. And so my husband and I signed up by ordering it on an infomercial. I'd never purchased anything on an infomercial in my life. Since COVID, I've probably purchased quite a few things from ads that pop up on Instagram, but we ordered the program. We got the program as a Christmas gift to each other. That January, we did the fit test, and I got sick. Like I threw up, like at the fit test, and thought this is awful. I completed the program with him, but I never took a before photo. I never took an after photo. I never took measurements. I only focused on the scale, and I told myself that I failed because I didn't see any progress. So I've been following a girl on social media who was sharing about the programs from Beachbody, and she had done Insanity, and I reached out to her and I asked her, told her it didn't work. And she said, well, maybe you need to incorporate something like Shakeology for your nutrition. And I said, I don't drink shakes. I did Slim Fast in college. I need to eat real food. I'm not into that, and I can't afford anything else. And so we just talked for briefly, and that was, in February, and that was it. Well, come May, I had my son, my 5th, whose birthday was in July, and I was stuck. I was stuck in a plateau in my journey, and like my food fear was out of control. I had done different types of dieting and really had a really poor relationship with food. And so she posted about doing a 10-day challenge, trying Shakeology. And I thought, well, I can try anything for 10 days. So I gave it a try. What I found was not only did I love Shakeology, and I've been drinking it ever since, but I loved the community. I got to be in a safe space in a Facebook group where no one else knew I was in there. And I got to meet people who didn't know me from day to day. And I got to kind of discover that I wasn't alone in some of the things I was struggling. And so after that 10-day challenge, I told her, I don't care. I just want to keep going. And so she said, well, you're going to need to get a challenge pack. And I said, well, what's the cheapest option? And she said, signing up as a coach. And I said, I'm in. She's like, you save 25%. I'm like, okay, not working the business. I don't want to work the business. I had been a working mom and I was staying at home with my kids, but I would do anything to save because honestly, we didn't have the budget for it. You know, we had more months than we had money, but all I knew is this was working and this is what I had to do to be a part of it. I didn't want to stop. So I purchased my first challenge pack and I started that July, and it was a 90-day challenge. I was the person who, you know, like I said, never took before photos, never like really gave herself credit. And here I found myself in a group for 90 days. And as I started to focus in on that group and really wrestle with like wanting to quit and falling off the wagon and getting back up, what I found was I kept getting back up. And I was surrounded by people who were cheering me on. And also I was able to cheer them on. And little by little, when I finished that 90-day challenge, what blew my mind was for the first time, honestly, in my life, as I guess I was 34, I can't do math, I'm 41 now. I looked in the mirror and actually had a smile for myself. Like it wasn't like immediately pointing out the things about my body I hated. And my husband would compliment me, and in my mind, I would think, he's not just being nice, like he means it. And I would look at my oldest two, which are daughters, and think, what can I do to help them not grow up and battle like I have? And so I decided at that point, 3 months in, I'd like to do something with the business side. And so it started off kind of a hobby. I invited a few friends to join me when T25 came out. It's another Shaun T program. And, you know, one of them signed up as a coach because she wanted to save on Shakeology, and she's actually still a coach to this day. And we got started and we were doing the workouts together. And then I had a couple other friends and a couple other people who joined, some as challengers, some as coaches. And it was really like, I was just kind of organic and kind of trying to learn and kind of doing it messy, but I was enjoying it. And I was making a little income, covering my Shakeology cost, and really finding like there was something more to this than just shakes and workouts. And there was fear. It's an MLM. The MLMs get blasted, you know what I mean? And there was a little fear, like, what do people think? But what kept me going and still keeps me going is remembering where I was before and where I am now. And so, you know, I found that through these program and challenge groups in the Shakeology community and coaching other people, that there was this freedom, hence my team's name, our team's name. And being a coach at the start, even though it was purely to save money, over time, the finances have helped, but the transformation that's happened in my life and in my marriage and being able to walk with others as they get to experience the same has changed my life. Like I said, I started small, and about 6 months in, a coach who is a good friend of mine and was a mentor shared that, you know, she made a full-time income and she'd work part-time hours because she knew how to budget her time wisely. And at that point in time, my husband, in addition to working for a nonprofit, was traveling every weekend to do speaking and retreats to make extra income because we were putting our kids in school and we needed the finances. And so he was gone all the time. And so being a mom with 5 kids home all the time and feeling tired and worried and going to the grocery store worrying that we wouldn't have enough money for the, you know, for food because we had a very tight budget. And I just thought that's what you had to do. And so when she shared, I thought, if I could make enough money to bring him home a couple weekends where he could just say yes when he wants to, that was my first goal. And so it wasn't like I jumped in and thought, I want to make a full-time income right away, but I thought I want to make an impact and I want to help, you know, so he can say no and be home more because time means a lot to me. And so I was able to dig in and start doing that. And over time, it's snowballed for me to the, at the point of 7 years, like making more than I made when I was a teacher, before I had kids, and continuing to grow, but at a pace that honored me having all these kids, right? Honored seasons of illness, honored different things that have come up in our lives, and the impact that it's made to the women who are here tonight and the women on our team that continues to grow, and men, but was mostly women, has blown me away. And so I will tell you that, sure, this is a business opportunity, and you're going to hear about how you can earn an income. What I love the most about this opportunity, though, is that it's a business opportunity that's wrapped in a mission and a purpose that's beyond just an income. People need to break free from the lie that they're not worth anything. People now with COVID are trapped at home, most of them, and not connecting with others and stressed and anxious. People need to hear the truth that you don't have to stay stuck. As a mom with 1 million kids, it's not wrong to want to pay someone to clean your house. It's not wrong to want the money for a date night. It's not wrong to want to work. And you don't have to sacrifice what's most important to you to do it. And so tonight, I want to invite you to lean in with us. I'm going to talk a little bit about the company we partner with, and then I'm going to have some of the coaches on our team share with you their story, and also some of the things that we all have experienced that you might be thinking tonight is the biggest reason why you're hesitant to say yes. You know what I mean? Because like I said, what I tell my coach when I signed up, I'm never doing this business, because I was terrified of what people would think, but when you have a story and you have a transformation, it's a gift to give someone else that opportunity. And our mission of our team is to embrace freedom in your own journey, to share the truth of your testimony with other people, and then inspire hope in them to find that freedom for themselves. And so tonight, you're going to get to hear how that's happened for some, just a small piece of this beautiful team. And I'm so excited for you to lean in with us. I want to tell you that we do partner with Beachbody. So if you're familiar with P90X or Insanity, Morning Meltdown 100, 21 Day Fix, these are the programs that this company has produced. And what happened was Beachbody actually was founded in 1998 by Carl Deichler and John Condon to help people reach their goals. The mission of Beachbody is to help people achieve their goals and enjoy a healthy and fulfilling life. And they did it primarily through infomercials. I mean, raise your hand if you've ever seen an infomercial. Probably lately it's been for 21 Day Fix or PiYo, or for me it was Insanity. What they found though is people were buying these home products, these work at home like programs, and they were starting to work on these message boards. And the customers were starting to talk about the results, and then the customers who had done the program were helping the new customers who had just started. And Carl and John saw an opportunity that they wanted to reward these people for their organic sharing of programs and results. And so they invited them to become founding coaches of Team Beachbody, which originally was officially launched in 2007. Our founding coach, Tracy Morrow, is so many levels up, but I've had the blessing of meeting her, had training from her, do Bible studies with her. She works with John C. Maxwell. She has 6 kids. And I remember when I got pregnant as a coach with number 6, I mean, this woman is so many levels up, but she got on the phone with me to talk to me about how I could still do what I wanted to do, yet honor my family. And it was such a gift. And so as coaches, we partner with Beachbody. We use their products and programs, and we provide community through our challenge groups. And then we also have options to invite other people like you were here tonight to be a coach to help more people, because I can only help so many with my 2 hands. So tonight, I'm really excited for you to take the time to meet these women and to hear their stories. And so we're going to start with Megan, if you can unmute. Megan, can you share a little bit about yourself, where you're living right now, and how you got started with coaching?
Yes. So I'm Megan. I am a mama of 3 boys, a 4-year-old, 2-year-old, and this little tiny one, 4-month-old. And I've been married for 5 years. We live in South Carolina. I'm originally from Northern Virginia. And Jake is a youth minister. And when we first got married, we lived in Alaska. He was in youth ministry there. And then we moved to North Carolina to be closer to family. And he started working for our alma mater, Belmont Abbey College. And we we wanted to be closer to home, so it was a big pay cut, and it was fine because Alaska is very expensive to live. So when we moved there, I found a new job, and then we we got pregnant, and so I worked with the company I was working for to set up an at-home position. I was doing customer service, so pretty easy to do at-home stuff. But the day before my at-home position was supposed to start, I reached out to my supervisor, and I was like, hey, I haven't heard anything from you. And she was like, why don't you come into the office, which was 45 minutes from where I lived. And she brought me to her office to tell me that it wasn't going to work out. So we had also just bought our first house. And Jake's work was on a pay freeze. So we were kind of in this like really tricky situation. I ended up nannying, and then fast forward, things were just kind of coming to a dead end with my plan B. And I was looking for MLM opportunities because I wanted something that I could do from home. And I was already teaching and nannying, and both of those were just not going to work out in the long run. And so I knew a friend of a friend who's my coach, who was coaching. And so I said, what is it like to be a mom and a coach and, run this MLM from your home? And she said she really liked it, but if I wanted to hear more, to come to a webinar just like we're on tonight. And so I was like, okay. And I had a passion for health and fitness in a very unique light. So I'd struggled with an eating disorder growing up, and was trying to navigate what it looked like to take care of my body and feel good in my skin without having that trigger. And I also had overcome that. So I had a story to tell. And I wanted to find something that helped me be active and helped me take care of my body, and also a way to share that with people that wasn't going to trigger anybody or trigger me. And so I was listening to this webinar, and somebody had shared that. They shared that they had overcome an eating disorder because their coach had reached out to them, and they started taking care of their body differently. And that just like, I was like, this is the answer. This is what I need to do. And somebody else had shared that they brought their husband home from a job that they didn't feel was the best option for their family. And though Jake really loves ministry, and I don't think that he would stop doing it, it just kind of made me realize, like, even if it grows slow, even if I don't reach that person's goals, if I can just make enough so that he can serve in ministry, answer that call from God, and I can take care of the rest, then that's awesome. So those two things really stuck out to me, and I signed up like the next day.
That's so awesome. And what I love is that, you guys will hear everybody has a little bit of a different focus. When Megan and I met, because she's in my downline, one of the things I loved is that connection of having our spouses at both. My husband now is a principal of an elementary school, but he was also in ministry. And so like even our husbands were able to connect, which was cool. And it just built that community between. So if you have a spouse and you're looking into this, like invite them in to listen in, you know what I mean? Like don't let them be a part of it and know that you can support them in their mission. So I love that you shared that tonight. That's really awesome. She's from my hometown. I mean, like home state. So can you share, we've talked about this before. A lot of people struggle with the whole concept of sales. They don't want to be pushy. They don't want to be icky. All unfortunately have seen it done wrong many times, so can you share a little about how you see sales and inviting, and how you overcame any of those fears that you might have had?
Yeah, I definitely had those. But at first, actually, when I was talking to my coach, Megan, hold on, let me pass off the baby because he's getting fussy. I don't think he wants to nurse him. He probably needs to burp. Sorry. And you can do this as a mom, and you don't have to have a perfect, seamless life.
Yes.
You can never do this in customer service.
We have about 12 babies born on the team, like every year.
Yeah. So when Megan first was talking to me about it, and after that webinar, we were kind of talking about the details. I was like, you know what? I have been in sales. Like I worked at AT&T, and then I worked in customer service for a company. And I was like, I got this. Like I've been in sales. Like I can do this. And I was so stinking wrong because yes, like we are offering people a product they do have to purchase from us for, us to be able to help them. But it's so much more than just selling them a product. Like I said, like I heard an opportunity in that webinar to share my story. And I wanted to do that. Like I loved having the opportunity to like speak to women about their body image and how I overcame an eating disorder. And this opportunity gives me an opportunity to equip them. Like I not only, like if I was a speaker, which was like my dream job, I would give them like an hour of my time. They would hear my story, maybe some tips, they'd have some takeaways, and they'd go on with their life. But as a coach, I can get in there with them, and I can listen to them. I can have that one-on-one relationship with them, hear what they need, inspire them, and then give them the tools that will help them in their unique situation to find that freedom in their health and wellness, to, be that fit person that they want to be, without it being detrimental to their mindset. That's what I love, is that I'm not just selling them a shake. I'm not just selling them a workout program, but I'm giving them myself. It's a sale of yourself. You're offering your coaching, the community that you create. And that doesn't mean you have to give your whole entire life to that person. It doesn't mean you have to be their bestest friend. But it just means that you're there to be their cheerleader, to be their encourager, their inspiration. And I just, it feels almost unfair not to be able to do that. There's so much more that I can offer as a coach with these products, with being a coach rather than just an influencer or a speaker. And so what I do to sell basically is I take some steps. So what that kind of looks like, to give you an idea, is I get to know people. I reach out and I connect with people, and if they express a need, I offer them a solution. And if not, if I just enjoy them or, get to know them enough, I'll invite them to something that I'm excited about. Because sometimes I don't know if somebody needs something. Not everybody is willing to share that. And sometimes our conversation doesn't get to the point, where maybe we've talked about what I can offer them. So I will either invite them on my own prerogative, or if they have expressed something that I have a solution for, I will offer them a solution. And so again, like it's offering these tools, but I'm also offering my support and the community that I have built. And yes, I have financial goals, but what I have learned with the financial goals that I set is that it is that push that I think I needed to be bold enough to reach more people than I would if I didn't have that goal. So that is kind of a cool way that the money has blessed my mission, is that, okay, yeah, I have this income goal, but, every dollar I make is somebody, a person I'm helping, rather than just like product out my door. So Yeah. And I also think like the tools that we offer are phenomenal. I mean, you can see it. Like I've shared my transformations. I've shared our team's transformations, my clients' transformations. You see them on the infomercials or the ads that you see on social media or whatever. They're amazing. They really are phenomenal. And, but there's something so special in having a community, and there's something so special about having a person to ask questions to lean on when you did that workout and you stopped halfway through because you're just so stinking frustrated that you aren't able to finish that move because you feel weak. And I mean, I've been there. I've cried through a workout, and like to be able to just reach out and lean on somebody and have them remind you that like, why is this important to you? And you can do this. And we've all been there. And, it's so different than just going to the gym and getting it done and getting back to your life. It's such a personal experience. And that's something that Beachbody offers that I have never seen anywhere. I don't know of any other opportunity that's like that offers the nutrition and the fitness as well as the personal connection and the community. So that's kind of how I see sales in this.
I love that. I love it. It really is that solution. And that's one thing that is a big part of our team. When you become a coach, we do have training to teach you almost how to listen.
Yes.
And how to find if you have a way to help someone else, but not cold messages that a lot of us have probably received before. Just, people are not points. Like it's really your income is a reflection of how many people you've helped. So I love that. Can you just share a little bit about how coaching's impacted your life and how that excites you for the future?
Oh my gosh, so many things. So like I said before, like I had that job and it got pulled out under me. But I'll be honest, I never had a job that I loved going to. I did work at J. Crew one time, enjoyed that, but all of the money I made went right back to the store. So this is something that even though it's challenging and sometimes I do have fears, that's a reality. I look forward to this. It excites me. It's a job that I adore. It's a career that I don't mind thinking if, I'll do this for the rest of my life kind of thing. And it's something I can do for the rest of my life, and in the ways that it's like challenged me to, overcome fears, it's really helped me to dig deep into myself and see what are some ways that are holding me back in all areas of my life. So it kind of, I think we joke about this on our team all the time, like it peels back the onions. Like you get to really know like who you really are and who you're really called to be because you have to face fears of, somebody might misunderstand me or think I'm wrong or something like that. And those challenges are really just such a blessing. I've made so many friends that I never would have had the courage to reach out to. I would have never had a reason to reach out to them. Some people are my clients, some people aren't. And some people have their own Beachbody coach, but there's this one girl that I'm friends with on Instagram who just signed up as a coach with her coach, and she has nothing to do with our team, but we've been friends for like a year and a half now, and I just really enjoy it. And so there's just ways that that's really blessed my life. I have some past wounds of friendships, and having the friends on our team and in this community has really shown me what authentic friendship is and how to be a good friend, and taught me skills of empathy. My family is active. My husband works out now, and that's just crazy. Yeah, I think the two people that are here tonight, Nicole and Aaron, know Jake better than I knew them. Like that's how I know them is through Jake. So they probably know what I mean. But it's just really awesome to see like how it's blessed my family life. It's given me like this vision of my family being healthy that I didn't think we would just I just didn't think we'd have. Like Jake was addicted to Dr. Pepper when we got married, and he doesn't drink, there's no soda at my house ever. And so like just things like that is just kind of like, it's really changed. Even like my social media experience, I didn't even have Facebook when I started coaching because I hated the environment of social media. And like everything that's going on in our world right now, like there is no doubt in my mind that I'd be like, see ya if I wasn't a coach. But now I see social media as an opportunity and a responsibility to actually be a light when there is so much toxic content on there. And, you know, like to just be positivity when it really lacks that. So just so many things.
I love it though. And I love it. Thank you. I love that, like even the part with social media, and I love that. Yeah. Her husband's like working out like hard. It's amazing. If you see and talk to any of your coaches, like if there's a way it impacts like more than just you, which is a beautiful way that it ripples into families, you know, like so many of the coaches on our team, like their dens or their workout space, you know what I mean? And so like even during COVID, when it first started, like it lasted for a few weeks and then it got like, we stopped, but I had my boys doing like the kids workouts with me every day. And like, they were asking me to do them. And it was really fun actually. 'Cause I don't know, it just was something I'd never thought to do before. Like, I love that. Thank you so much, Megan. I appreciate you being here and sharing. So our next coach is Jen. Are you on, Jen? Can you unmute? I gotta find you.
Hi there.
Hey. Hey. So can you share and introduce yourself and talk a little bit about how you got started with coaching?
Sure. My name is Jen Tiller, and I am from South Bend.
Oh, no, wait. Oh, you're muted, Jen. Sorry.
Oh,
okay.
You cut me off.
Sorry. I like went to mute myself and I muted you, and I'm like, wait, I'm so confused. Sorry, y'all. Technical difficulties.
Okay.
Do over.
So I am actually, we live in South Bend, Indiana. My husband and I are both from Michigan. And so we've lived here probably 19 years now, but we always still say we're from Michigan. So that's just the way it is. But I think I've lived here longer than in Michigan. So, but I have 3 adult children and 1 teenager. And so I'm really past those baby years, but I love seeing all the babies on our calls just because though I can't mush on them, I get to see them and which I love. So, but I am a director of a school counseling program here at a Catholic school in our town. And so I work full time. I also decided about a year and a half ago that I wanted to try 2B Mindset. I had tried Beachbody probably about 3 years prior to that, and life got in the way, and it just was kind of went by the wayside. And my coach actually stopped coaching, and so one of our other coaches that were in there, Angie Bradley, she would still like check up on me. She's waving. She would check up on me, you know, and just see how I'm doing and things, and every once in a while. And so I started talking to her, not this past February, but the February before. And I said to her, you know what, I know that if I don't get my nutrition in check before I even start working out, it doesn't matter how much I work out, I got to get my mindset right with food. And so, because I wasn't going to outwork my nutrition. And so I started doing 2B Mindset, and I did that up until last July. And then I turned 50. And, and that was a wake up.
I still can't even believe that, Jen. Like, just be honest. I just knew.
Okay.
Just saying.
So my husband took me to Washington, and we went hiking. And it it was the most embarrassing thing. I can't even tell you how embarrassing, because he's a marathoner. He is a marathon runner. And we were going up altitudes that I had to keep stopping, and I had to keep like breathing, and literally my shoulders and my arms were going numb. And I was like, I felt like a little old lady. And dang it was my 50th birthday. So I came home from that, and I called Angie Bradley, and I was like, that's it. We're doing this. I am going to start working out. And by the fall, I contacted her again, and I said, I had such a good experience. I said, you know what? I need to coach. I want to coach, because I was in this community that was so encouraging and so supportive. And I just felt like it was going to help me be accountable if I was the coach, because I had to show up and I had to show up for others, but that in turn was going to help me show up for myself. And my big thing is that I feel a calling to serve others, and I serve teenagers right now in the Catholic schools, but I've always felt the seed planted that I should be serving women. And so I started coaching, and it was one of those things where I started slow at first, just because I work full time, and I just wanted to kind of get my feet wet, kind of cover the costs of my products that I wanted to buy. But then I started gaining momentum, and I really felt this more passion to serve. And that's what was calling me even more, was service. And so what I would do is I would work my day, I would come home, and my son, who's in high school, would have homework. And so I would work my business during the time that he had homework. And so when we would do that, and then it wouldn't interfere with our family time. And so I was done by dinner. I was able to, spend time with family, and it was perfect. So as things always do, we have to adjust, we have to pivot because that's how life is. And so recently I decided that I wanted to go for a certification to be a life coach. And so that was going to be another thing that I'm adding on. So I decided, and this was a big step for me, to be a 5 a.m. person, because this girl was never. My husband's in the back going 5:30. Dang it, that alarm goes off at 5. But this girl was an 8:30 person in the summer. My clock wakes up, if I don't have an alarm, it's 8:30, and so I think when I retire, it's going to be 8:30. But I decided I got to be a 5 a.m. person. And so what I decided was, if I want to get all this stuff in, and it's exciting because it's my passion, then I'm going to work 5 to 6. I'm going to work out virtually. We have a virtual sweat session in the morning at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to work out from 6 to 7, or 6:30, and then get in the shower, be to work by 8, get home, and then I'm going to work on my certification during that time where my son is doing homework. So these are the things where it takes an hour a day for me to really do the business, which is, I couldn't believe that it was just going to take an hour a day. But if I can do this, whereas I'm a full-time person, and I have, we all have, a lot of us have families and whatnot, that if I can do this, I know a lot of people can do this, especially with how busy I am. So, but yes, it's my passion, and I do feel that I'm serving women to be, to help them to be the best versions of themselves, whatever they determine that to be. It's not my determination. It's to help them find that determination for them. And so that's that for me, that's really worked out.
I love that. Yeah. And I think I love how you were sharing, because a lot of times people are concerned with the time. So if you're on here tonight or listening, whether you have a full-time job, part-time job, or you're a full-time mom, I mean, a lot of women on our team homeschool and have 6, 7, 8, 9 kids, you know what I mean? Or work part-time or full-time. I love how you were sharing, you're able to fit it in a way that honors your priorities, and that's part of the value of what our team offers with tools and resources, but also support. Like, no one wants a coach that's going to burn out, and so, and I can even relate to the piece of your story about hiking with your spouse. Like, I love how you shared that, because this past summer, going to the mountains and being able to keep up with my kids a few years ago, I couldn't. And it was like awesome that I was able to hike. It's the little things, those non-scale victories, but that are like more meaningful. I love how you shared that.
Yeah.
So can you tell us just a little bit, just to kind of wrap up, like how coaching has impacted your life and what you're excited about as you look in the future?
Sure. So I would say coaching has impacted my life in many different levels. I've been able to meet so many people from across the states. I started doing some things on Instagram over the summer where I was connecting with different school counselors throughout the United States because of COVID. And it has really, it's been awesome because I've had really deep conversations with these people and talk about, that they need to have self-care, especially as school counselors. I mean, and mental health professionals and such, that sometimes we had talked about the burnout is if we don't take care of ourselves first, how are we going to serve other people? So I think that has been a wonderful thing, where just being able to meet so many people from around the states. I'll have to tell you what impacted me right off the bat was right after I became a coach, we had our team retreat in Tennessee, and I only knew one person going, and it scared the crap out of me because this is one of my things, is that I do, you would never believe this, but I'm an introvert. and I, like Megan, have had some issues in the past history with relationships with women. And so of just not feeling enough around other women, not, having feel that worth. And so I said, you know what, I'm going, I'm just showing up. I'm showing up as me, and, and I'll take it from there. But so I got my butt there, and I met so many, and it was a phenomenal retreat. So that's the big thing about coaching too, is that, you get to go on these retreats with each other, and you get to bond, and you get to learn more. And that was phenomenal, to be right off a baby coach and get that right away, so. And I would say also just having these relationships with other coaches, not just my challengers, but I feel sometimes that even with these coaches in this group, I don't think I've been with more authentic people, women that are just authentically themselves, who always want to grow, who always want to serve, and who always, want to put their health. And I just haven't found that a lot in my world. I think a lot of people are stagnant, and especially I would think around my age, that people become stagnant and they're not trying to develop personally, their own personal development, and trying to grow and bring new things in. And so just to be around this group has energized me. And it's been wonderful being able, to be a coach.
I love that. Yeah, it was great. Our retreat this past year was in Tennessee, and it was such a blessing to see just all of us come together and meet women that we've never met in person, because you meet them online, and it's something we do every year as a team. And I love that you were able to come. Like, it was so, and what's funny is when you lean in online, so often I'm like, am I hugging you for the first time? Because you feel like you know one another. But it's such a gift because there's a power in proximity. Like there's a quote, I want to give the credit to John Maxwell, but someone else might have said it first, that you've become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, I spend the most time with very young kids under the age of 10, but I would say as adults, I spend it with these women, and it's really leveled up my life. And so I love how you were sharing that. Thank you so much, Jen, for taking the time to share tonight.
Thank you.
Leans in perfect to Allison. So if you can unmute, you know, one of the beauties of this business is, I heard it said one time, it's like a personal growth opportunity with a compensation plan. But before we go there, can you talk a little bit, Allison, about how you got started with coaching?
Sure. Hi. I am in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Louisiana. And I got started coaching. I followed Kelly on Facebook for a long time. And I decided to just start messaging her, and one thing to the other. And I was already had been exposed to Beachbody before, and I didn't even know that's really what she did. But I could see that she, through her social media, that she was authentic and genuine, and she tied in the whole package of fitness and health and wellness and prayer and personal development. And that's what I was striving for, and that's what I was looking for, where I could get the whole package. And so I became a discount. When I reached out to her, she's like, well, you already, know about Shakeology, and, you know about a little bit about it. Why don't you just sign up as a discount coach, and you can plug into the group and you can get a discount on your shake. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? Well, who doesn't want to save money? So I signed up in around, I think it was around 2015, and I just was a discount coach for years, but I plugged in as a challenger. I was always present in my challenge group. I mean, I may have come in and out sometimes, but for the most part, I was a pretty active challenger. And I have a full-time job. I forgot to mention that. I'm married and I have 2 children. And I have a full-time job in the rental property business. My family, I grew up in kind of like mobile home parks and apartment complexes, and we have some rental houses in our family business, and so I manage that. So I'm in and out of my house all day long, showing property, helping fix properties up, meeting maintenance people, and it's not a glamorous job. It is a dirty job. It is, I have my hands in there. I'm cleaning, I'm scrubbing, especially with COVID, we have a lot of vacancies. So I'm in the trenches. And so I wanted, when I kept just being a discount coach, I was like, I don't know. I just felt like, well, let me just go back a little bit. So Kelly had the retreat at her house in Ohio, and she invited whoever wanted to come, and that was a coach. And I went, and that's the boldest move I've ever made in my life. I can say affirmatively, because I bought a plane ticket and I hopped on a plane to Ohio, where I knew I had not seen any of these people except online. But it was like a dream I was chasing. Like, I just feel the pull to not want to leave. And after that retreat, I got to talk on people and learn more and more about the business and the company and really dive in. I was like, I want to work this business. I don't ever want to leave this. This is, what I want to do. And why should I not expose this gift to other people? I want other people to know that there is a possibility to find freedom in your skin. And, so that's what made me ultimately decide to start working in the business, which I started working last June. So I've actively been working in the business in June, and it's blessed every corner of my life. What you see is what you get. These women on this team are as genuine and authentic as it can be. It has blessed every corner of my life, my marriage, my family. It's just been one journey, and I don't ever plan on leaving it.
I was so excited when you came up. So last year was the first time we had like a team retreat for just our team in the past, in 2019. And I had it at my house, which is kind of fun. So the hubs and all the kids went and camped out at my mother-in-law's. We had it here. So it filled my cup to not only like meet these women like Allison for the first time, we met in person when I went to Louisiana. My husband's from there, but I laughed that even she and I connected. Someone asked about connecting in the chat. I lived in Louisiana for 8 years when we were newly married before we moved up here, but I've still met and connected with people all over. And it's a lot of times through common interests and things that you share. And, and one thing that Allison and I think one of the many things we have in common is a love for like reading and devotionals and faith and growth. And so it's really been neat to just connect even more with her, and to have her come up. I mean, that took a lot of courage. I can totally understand. I'm an extroverted introvert, so I'm excited right now, and then I'll need some quiet time, tomorrow. So I love that. So one of the things that you have shared before, and like even now you touched on it with like saying that about, just your experience with coaching is just that about the personal growth aspect. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about how the personal growth and belief has impacted your journey, your family, and ultimately your business.
Okay. I love the description of it's kind of like a personal growth opportunity with a compensation plan, because that is it's a great explanation. It's the added perk. Working the business for me means inviting others to the gift of a total solution. It's a holistic approach and opportunity to heal from within. And the fitness programs have taught me that I can do challenging workouts, that moves that I typically would have shied away from, which ultimately proved to me that I can do hard things and I'm capable of more. And this assuredly boosts my confidence. I want this for others too. I was very low in confidence. And so this opportunity has taught me to grow as a person and become more confident in my capabilities. The nutrition plans with Beachbody have taught me about food, which I always thought I had it down, but I've learned about the value of diving in and honing in and doing the right things with food. My family's watching me. I know my kids are not on board yet, but they're watching me and they know that that's what mom does. And so I'm hoping that I'm planting seeds there. So the personal belief and growth I'm finding has taught me that I can run my own fun business on the side, and it fills my heart and soul on a daily basis. The business that I'm doing full time doesn't. I mean, it's a job and it pays the bills, but this is what I long to run to. Like it just fills my cup, and I just crave it. I just don't ever want to leave it. It's allowed me to face some fears and fuel a passion for the love that I have for health and wellness. So it's blessed every corner of my life. And I just want other people to experience that. So
I love that. And I'll be honest, like to watch Allison and our friendship and to watch her like step more into like your confidence, it's been like I'm tearing up, like amazing. Like it's just to me to see other women have, and this is 3 women, you guys, there's hundreds on our team. It's a beautiful gift, and I'm really thankful that you shared tonight, because it's been powerful. And I love that each woman who's shared, with Megan and Jen and Allison, like they have different paths and avenues. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that at the end, but like, it's still magnified in like their daily living, because it's more than just the shake and the workout. That's like the physical aspect, and the nutritional, but it's more than that. So can you just tell us a little bit about, what excites you for the future with coaching?
I love coaching. I love the people I get to connect with. I love the reconnections, people that I feel like are looking for the same journey. Coaching has broadened my horizons. It has gotten me to step out of my comfort zone, and that's where personal growth happens. Coaching has taught me about personal development and how important making time for ourselves is in order to better serve our families and others. Coaching has given me confidence. Coaching has brought me like-minded friends as support. Coaching has brought me into contact with old friends that were looking for a health and fitness solution. And coaching has shown me the beauty in being vulnerable with others, because it lets others know they aren't alone in their struggles. And if it means I can make one person feel better in their own skin, who am I not to share that gift now that I have it? I'm excited to continue to invite others and hopefully impact someone's life the way mine has been impacted.
I love that. You guys, I love these calls. So a couple of things I'm going to share, and thank you, Allison, so much for sharing tonight. I'm going to answer a few questions that I saw in the chat and then kind of wrap us up, because I know you've been taking the time and we value the time, but I'm so proud of you for speaking tonight, because she was super shy when we started, and I've seen her step into this, and everyone who's here tonight, and so many other women that if you're in a challenge group, you have met some, and if you're a coach on this team, you get to meet others. But a couple questions that came in the chat that I want to talk about to help you understand a little bit. And I'm going to touch on it. And if you need more detail, just reach out to the person who invited you, because I also want to kind of respect the time we have. But someone had asked, what if you're still on your journey? So when I signed up to coach, and several of us who have, we were still on our journey, whether it's because you still have physical weight to lose or you have a lot of personal growth that you feel you need to make happen. There's a quote that, this is funny because if you can see a Sarah Kroger on the screen, she's literally across from me because she's visiting in my house right now on the deck. We're across from each other. And she said this, and I remember it stuck, is you can be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. There are pieces of your story right now that help others, whether it's saying, hey, I'm starting MBF on Monday. I'm scared, but I know I'm going to do this, and I would love you to do this with me. And you get to build community while you're in the journey, because 7 years later, I'm still in the journey. I'm still learning. I've had 3 pregnancies since I signed up. So there was a lot of back and forth with, all that happens with pregnancy. I've had, I'm still learning. I'm still healing. I'm still growing. I'm still learning about food. I'm still learning about mindset. I'm still learning how to be strong. I'm 41 and I'm still trying to, so I'm saying you're never finished, but it's because you don't want to be. And so if you are listening tonight or listening to this recording and thinking, but I still have, you know what? If you have a desire to start your journey, if you're on your journey, someone wants to walk with you. And the value of walking with each other. My best friend from high school, so this is like a short little story. So I was friends with her in 5th grade. We met when I was in Charleston, South Carolina, and I transferred to a new school, and she was like my only friend. Her name is Helen. We're still friends. And we decided to run a half marathon together. Oh gosh, math. 7 years ago. Okay. So she came up here. My daughter made her first communion and we ran a half marathon. We ran together mile for mile. We talked to one another about the mile that would be hard for us. We shared about literally you run 13 miles with somebody, and I'm a talker. Can you tell? You start to chat, right? And we had known each other for a very long time, but we were mile for mile. Hers was mile 8, mine was mile 10. We knew how to watch out for one another. A coach is someone that watches out for the people who are walking with them. You are not the expert. The experts are the trainers and nutritionists that provide our programs for us, which is why I love that Beachbody has equipped us. I do not have a nutrition degree. I love nutrition. I've read several books, but I'm not about to label myself as an expert. And I'm not a personal trainer. And there are even personal trainers on our teams who have said they don't quote their expertise. People don't want an expert in their journey. They want someone who's running with them. So if you're just starting or you're in the middle, there's no shame. You're in a beautiful place that not only you can change your life, but you can say, hey, I'm starting this program in a week, and I would love if we could kind of link arms and do it together. And so if anyone here tonight is thinking that, I want to encourage you to not label yourself as not capable because of the things that you have a hard time with, because those are the very areas that can transform through this whole process of being in a challenge group and being connected. We just had our coach summit last week, and if you have not yet, ask your coach to share with you the transformation videos of the people who did the Beachbody Challenge. If you see that, it really changes your perspective. And that is why I know there are a lot of really good MLMs, and I'm not in any way going to speak negatively of another business model. But what I love about ours is it's life changing, not only for the individual, but for the family, for the community and beyond, because it's health and it's wellness and it's the inside. So that was a question that I saw. Another question that I wanted to answer is, what does it look like? How do you do this? So when you become a coach, there are a few options for you to get started. We have Beachbody does not label your commitment to coaching. So when you decide to get started with coaching, to the nitty gritty logistical piece is $40 to become a coach. You literally get to open your own coaching business for your own franchise, your own business for $40, which is pretty incredible. If you purchased a challenge pack in the past, you get your $40 back after you pay it. Or my big, honestly, opinion right now is the Muscle Burns Fat Challenge pack. If you got that, or if you are a Beachbody On Demand subscriber and you get the completion pack, they waive the $40 fee, and you get the newest program plus both nutrition programs, which are solid, as you heard from testimony tonight. But that's how you get started. And then once you get started, you get to decide what's the pace you want to run this race. Okay. Some people who sign up to coach have a goal that they need to hit quickly. I have a good friend who's a coach, and she was working full time and expecting, and she didn't want, when she hit maternity leave, to have to go back to her job. So she gave herself 1.5 years to replace the income, and she worked harder. She worked about 3 hours a day, but she was able in 3 hours a day in about 18 months to replace the income she had at her job. Okay. That being said, there are coaches like myself who sign up and I'm like, I just want to save and I want to tap into this amazing community right now. And then I morphed into, I'm a hobby coach. I'd like to help a few people and help my family cover the cost of Shakeology or whatever, Energize if you're addicted to it like the rest of us are, or maybe, whatever products you love. And I love the fact that on our retreat, you don't have to be a rank to be on retreat. Like, you get to come because you're part of the family to grow, right? And you get to go to Summit and all these events. Or maybe you move from discount coach, which I prefer to call a community builder, because discount coaches, like when Allison first started, she was adding so much value in our challenge groups as a natural encourager. And maybe that's, that she continues to encourage other people and kind of lead. And so, you have that discount coach that's an encourager, and you're leading by helping, meaning encouraging others, not you're running a challenge group, but you're in there and being involved. To a hobby coach that works a little bit here and there. And like, people see the progress and they share, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, I'm doing this program. You want to do it with me? To where I finally thought this could be something that could make a financial impact on my family as a business builder. And business builder can mean part-time or full-time. It's up to you. There's no, honestly, no pressure. Like, I'm not going to come at you. Your coach is not going to come at you and say, you got a quota, you got so many hours. And as a person right now, 7 years in the business, who's working, I would say for a full-ish time income, I mean, it keeps growing. I work part-time hours. I have assistance and help. And so how do we do that? So someone asked, number one, we use checklists to help us focus. If you really sit down to work your business, you can do it in an hour a day. At first, it might take a little longer because you're like trying to figure out the flow. I mean, think about it. The first time you do a program, if anybody's worked bod ropes, I'm beating my legs the entire time that I'm working out. But in week 3, I'm like, oh, I got it, because I'm figuring out the rhythm, right? So you get to pick the pace, but we provide the tools, the checklist. In your power hour or action hour where you're working, we teach how to add value to people, how to share your story on social media, how to encourage others, and how to start conversations to add value. And if that value ends in a sale of connecting them to your solution, awesome. If that value ends in you sharing a webinar or a book that helps you, that's awesome too, right? And so we help you to figure out those steps through training, because every Wednesday night our team gathers at 8:30 this time for a team training to teach you those things. But that's kind of how you do it. We all have fears and worries and insecurities, but kind of that you've heard shared from many women here tonight, like those are the places where you get to grow. And so I'm going to talk a few little touch points, and then I'm going to close us in prayer tonight. So I talked about the different kind of levels of coaching. You define your race, you define your pace, and you get to change the pace with which you run based on your season. If you just had a baby and you need to take some time Good. There's no pressure. But if you have goals and you told me as your coach, I really need this to happen, I'm going to run with you and I'm going to remind you why it's important to you. The same way I would if that was your fitness goal, right? When you get started as a coach, how do you make money? Okay, there's two main ways that Beachbody provides income for us. I'm going to share a super brief summary, and if you need more info, we have an entire compensation plan document. Just ask your coach, they can send it to you. It will blow your mind because to me it's amazing. Okay, if you're a numbers person, it still is amazing. I'm not a numbers person, but I've heard a lot of things about the benefits of this. Obviously, I'm here 7 years later, so I see the value. The number one starting place of earning commission or earning income is commission. You earn 25%, not 75, 25 to 40% off sales. So if you were to reach out to some friends and invite them to do a challenge with you and to do like muscle burns fat, which I'm quoting that because it's our new program. If they purchase the challenge pack, you would get a 25% commission off of their purchase. So by inviting 3 people and they say yes, you cover the cost of your Shakeology in the first month. Down the line though, what I found, which was scary at first, and I'll be honest, was I can't help as many people as I want to help with just my 2 hands. These women wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for the second part of the compensation plan, which is why it's a multi-level marketing company. I get to invite other people into our team, and they get to invite other people into our team. And so through offering the opportunity, I get to offer women like you have been offered tonight, or whether you're listening to the recording, the opportunity to invest in your own franchise, basically, your own business. And I get to mentor them and help them in their health journey and also find what their vision is for this business and how they want to serve others. And when I do that, and I have coaches that are in my downline, I earn a volume commission. It's called a cycle bonus. It does not come from what they make. I do not skim anything off of anyone's paycheck. It's just a bonus where Beachbody rewards and honors coaches who are mentoring the coaches in their downline who want to grow. What if you're a discount coach? What if you're not in it for the business? Guess what? You get mentored in how to get the most out of your wellness journey. And you also get to participate in the personal growth opportunities in our team. And I'll be honest, you never know when the switch might flip for you and you're like, maybe I could do a little more. Because guys, when you have something amazing, don't you tell everyone about it? Like I have a coffee shop here in Cincinnati, Coffee Emporium, and I'm taking Sarah there tomorrow. It is my favorite coffee shop. I go there, I take everyone there. Like I love it and I just want to share it. And that's kind of how I feel about our team. Like it has literally changed and made such a dramatic impact on my life. So those are the 2 main ways you earn. I love that in this business, and I get this a lot, so maybe you've thought it, and I'll be honest, a lot of times I'll be talking to someone else, say, well, my husband said it's a pyramid scheme. So let me speak to that for just a second. Number 1, pyramid schemes are completely illegal. So if this is a pyramid scheme, 20 years ago, it would have been shut down. Beachbody is actually backed by the Better Business Bureau. But second, what I love about Beachbody is that there's no income cap in a sense that like a coach that I have signed up can surpass my income if they choose to do that, meaning they put the effort forward. There's no guarantee. You do have to work, okay? But it's not capped off. It's not like someone I signed up is like, can't make the next income level because I haven't made it yet, because everyone has different goals and the company really honors that. And there's a lot of integrity in that. So if you're curious about the compensation plan or any of the policies and procedures of things, there's wonderful documents that have laid out by compliance, and your coach can give those to you to look through, because honestly, this is an amazing opportunity. And if you want that information, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, we're happy to give it to you. So how do you get started? If you bought a challenge pack in the past, like I talked about, you can pay the $40 and then fill out a form and get it reimbursed. Or if you're interested in one of the new program, Muscle Burns Fat, and you want to invest in the 2B Mindset and Ultimate Portion Fix, you can do a completion pack of your choice to get Shakeology or the Performance line, and they waive the fee. When you start as a coach, Beachbody provides you with a website. They provide you with an online office. They provide you with tons of training in addition to our team's training. They provide you with a Monday corporate call that gives value where you get to hear coaches share their stories. And for $15.95 a month, you get to maintain your coach business, and they maintain your websites. They handle all of your product. You don't have to stock Shakeology in your garage. They handle returns and customer service. So if someone has an issue with a bod rope, they're going to handle it for you, which is a huge blessing because I would not want to have to keep a bunch of products in my house. So those are the options for you to get started. You know, I want to just check real quick to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, but I also want to honor our time because I know we love to talk because we're really happy about what we do. Look, tonight you get to decide whether you're listening to this recording or you're here with us live. Like, you have been invited here into an opportunity. And I know that it can be scary to make a decision about things that feel uncertain. But I'll be honest, we've been in a year of uncertainty, right? And the growth opportunity in this business, financially and personally, I can't speak enough of it, and neither can the other women that are here, or even the person who invited you to listen to this webinar or to be here tonight. And the reason is this: there's a quote that a lot of people say. You hear it all the time. People say, "It is what it is." Well, it is what it is. And I remember about 6 years ago, one of my mentors talked about how we don't have to live by that. And I thought, what do you mean? And she said, it doesn't have to be, it is what it is. You get to have a choice in how you face your day and how you handle adversity and how you help your family. You get to have a choice. I had never heard that in my life. Now when I hear people say, well, it is what it is, I want to be like, no, it's not, because this opportunity has taught me that you have the freedom to choose differently. And so whether you decide to coach with this team because you want to be a community builder and then think about the hobby, or maybe you're like, you know what, I really would love to do something from home like Megan had shared, or maybe you're working and you need something like Allison shared, or maybe like Jen had shared. It's all kind of like molding together so beautifully, but permission. Everyone is unique. There's no like identical twins on this team, okay? So I invite you tonight to discern this and to talk with the person who invited you and ask the hard questions because they're ready to answer them. If you are coaching and you're like, well, I wouldn't be ready to answer them, you would, because you have this family. If there's a person who really wants to join this team and they're nervous because of a question, we want to help them make the best decision. I'm not here to convince you. Your coach is not here to convince you. They're just here with a gift, asking you to decide if it's for you. And if you believe it's for you, then we're super excited to welcome you. And if you feel like you need time, we're super excited to wait for you. Because it's something that has truly changed so much of our lives. I stand before you, I talked about who I was, now I have regular dance parties in my kitchen with my kids, and they think I'm crazy for it. But 5, 6, 7 years ago, I would have never done that out of fear of feeling stupid. Shoot, you can ask the women on retreat. I had dance parties at retreat in front of the women on retreat, and I let them see this fun side of me that I never let out before. That is blessing my 2 daughters. That is blessing my 5 sons. That is blessing my marriage. And that is blessing the women in this community as they are blessing me. And the fact that it's a business on top of that is a tremendous gift. So I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I know this has run a little bit longer than maybe you were expecting, but there's so much to share. We could talk all night. And so I'm going to close this in prayer because that's something important for our team. And I want to invite you to, whatever the question is, but what about this? But what about that? Ask your coach who invited you. But I don't know, ask your coach. They're not afraid of your worries. They're not, because they probably felt the exact same thing, and they welcome them to help you make the best decision for you. Okay? So let's go ahead and pray. Heavenly Father, oh Lord, I thank you so much for this night. I thank you for Megan and Jen and Allison for sharing their stories and just the way that you worked in their life. I thank you for this team and the women on our team and the men on our team, Lord, that you've brought into the Freedom family, and all the teams that are a part of this mission. I thank you for the friendships, the freedom, the transformations that are happening in our challenge groups daily. God, I lay before you all of those who are listening to this call, all of those who are here with us tonight, and I ask that you help them to discern what's best for them. What do you want them to do, Lord? How do you want them to take the next step, and how can we help them and serve them in making the best decision? God, this is such a gift. This business is such a gift, and I'm so grateful that you chose this company to bring so much joy into my life, and that you gave me the courage to say yes. And Lord, I ask that you would just bless our time, bless our community, bless our team, that you would help anyone who's here discerning to have peace about whatever their decision is, and to know that we are here to love, support, and honor them where they are. And I ask that you would continue in this season and in this year where there has been so much uncertainty, to give us the faith to lean in on you, Lord, to give us the grace to trust in you and to lean in, to have your peace be our focus, and your joy and and the trust that you have it all figured out, even when the world looks chaotic. I pray for the back to school season. I pray for all of us with our children. I pray for our jobs, our families, our husbands, all those who are sick. And Lord, I just thank you again for everyone who's here tonight. And we give you all the glory as we pray in your most holy name. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight. It was such a gift. Take care. I look forward to hopefully welcoming some of you this week. Take care.